So in your Copy Cure Masterclass, which again is friggin' awesome, I love how you went deep around this idea of hook sentences. Can you tell us what a hook sentence is and why it is so vital to remember when you want to write effective copy?
A hook sentence for me is anything that is like the opening headline, the subject line, the title of a blog post, and it can even be like the first sentence of an article, right? But the reason these things are so important is that if you can't get someone to click on something or to read the first sentence of something, the likelihood of getting them to read the rest of it is just preposterous. And so where I point readers to learn about hook sentences is actually in fiction and in novels, because when you think about it, like if you can get someone to pick a book off a shelf, read the first sentence, and then commit to reading like 200,000 words, you have some serious skills with hook sentences and first sentences. In The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, we slept in what once had been the gymnasium. Catch-22, Joseph Heller, it was love at first sight. Martian by Andy Weir, I believe is how it's pronounced. I'm pretty much fucked was the first sentence. Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man in the Sea. He was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream, and he had gone 84 days now without taking a fish. So that's a great example of like, he wrote this hook sentence, and you're immediately forced to read the next 100 sentences because you want to know, like, is he going to catch a fish on the 85th day, right? Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. That's stunning, right? Because now you read that and you think, okay, this is going to be a love story. So I think that so much can be told in a first sentence or a hook sentence, and yeah, it's just like a really magical place to do some cool stuff with copy.
It's also really fun too. I love collecting my swipe files and great copy. Like I get so excited anytime I'm reading anything and I catch a phrase, a headline, a turn of something where it just evokes some kind of emotion. And it's probably one of the best ways to train yourself. Laura and I joke about this. We call it headline consciousness. Like and it could be hook sentence consciousness to lend it right over, where once you're aware of it, it's almost like your reticular activating system. You're going to start to look for excellent hook sentences everywhere.
Exactly.
Advertisements, magazines, novels, plays, anywhere where you're able to read someone else's work, and you'll begin to identify for yourself why you're bored out of your brain and you don't continue, or how you get hooked in and continue reading page after page after page.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like when you are in the market to buy a car and all of a sudden, like, you might be buying a yellow Volkswagen Beetle or whatever, or Bug, and like you just start seeing them all over the place, whereas previously, like, you didn't see them at all, That's exactly right. You didn't see the magic happening behind whatever it was. I think that's so much of copywriting too, is giving yourself a chance to deconstruct. I often like to see in my own world, I've been obsessed with infomercials since I was a little kid. I love being in the experience of superb, artful marketing. And anytime I go to buy something and I whip out my credit card, I actually try and go back, not just for, okay, whatever this thing is that I really needed for my life, but how did they get me? How did they hook me? Yeah. What was the construction of the messaging? What was the email? What was the imagery? Like, I want to know how they put it together, because if it worked on me, there's probably a lesson, because I love this stuff so much, that would be instructive to help me even be better at my craft.